Haiku whispers soft. World news brews, tensions simmer. Truth seeks light, we speak. Welcome to AI News Brew, your source for objective, fact-based news from around the globe. I'm your host, bringing you the latest developments and insights on this week's most pressing issues. Let's dive into the stories shaping our world. Our top story today focuses on the escalating situation in Ukraine. Russia has launched its largest aerial assault on the country since the 2022 invasion, resulting in at least 12 deaths, including 3 children. This massive attack comes just days after U.S. President Trump reported a very well 2-hour call with Russian President Putin. In a surprising turn of events, Trump has now sharply criticized Putin, calling him absolutely crazy and warning of Russia's potential downfall. The timing of this rebuke is particularly noteworthy, given the recent diplomatic efforts between the two leaders. President Zelensky of Ukraine has responded to these developments by calling for increased sanctions on Russia rather than continued dialogue. This stance reflects the growing frustration with diplomatic efforts that have yet to yield tangible results in ending the conflict. Meanwhile, the humanitarian situation in Ukraine continues to deteriorate. Reports indicate that over 200 Ukrainian prisoners of war have died in Russian custody since the full-scale invasion began 3 years ago. Evidence suggests systematic abuse of Ukrainian POWs in Russian prisons, including violence, medical neglect, and possible cover-up attempts. Ukraine plans to bring war crimes charges against Russia at the International Criminal Court over this mistreatment of prisoners. Shifting our focus to the Middle East, tensions remain high in the Gaza Strip. A new U.S.-backed aid system has begun operations, opening its first distribution hubs in an attempt to address the growing hunger crisis among Palestinians. This initiative comes in response to Israel's nearly 3-month blockade on Gaza, which has severely limited the flow of essential supplies to the region. However, the implementation of this new aid system has not been without incident. At one of the new distribution sites operated by the U.S.-backed Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, chaos erupted, resulting in 1 Palestinian death and 48 injuries. This tragic event underscores the desperate situation faced by Gaza's residents and the challenges in delivering aid effectively and safely. The United Nations and other aid groups have expressed concerns about this new distribution mechanism, citing potential violations of humanitarian principles and the risk of weaponizing food aid. As the international community watches closely, the effectiveness of this new aid system will be crucial in addressing the critical humanitarian situation in Gaza. Turning to domestic news in the United States, President Trump's administration continues to make waves with its policies and actions. The Supreme Court has recently backed Trump's immigration policies, raising constitutional concerns in the process. The court allowed the administration to end humanitarian parole for over 500,000 migrants from Venezuela, Cuba, Haiti, and Nicaragua. This decision has significant implications for U.S. immigration policy and international humanitarian efforts. In a related development, the administration has fast-tracked the reopening of the Velvetwood uranium mine in southeastern Utah. This move has raised questions about potential ecological impacts in the sensitive desert ecosystem and highlights the ongoing tension between economic development and environmental conservation. On the economic front, Trump's proposed multi-trillion-dollar tax breaks package is facing widespread skepticism over its potential impact on the national debt. Even some Republican senators and global investors have expressed doubts about the plan's fiscal responsibility. This skepticism is partly rooted in the increase of national debt during Trump's first term following the 2017 tax cuts. In international news, India is poised to become the world's 4th largest economy, potentially overtaking Japan. The country claims to have reached a GDP of $4 trillion, with the International Monetary Fund forecasting further growth to $4.19 trillion by the end of 2025. This economic milestone reflects India's continued rise on the global stage and could have significant implications for international trade and diplomacy. However, India is also grappling with security concerns, particularly in relation to China. The country has implemented new security rules requiring CCTV manufacturers to submit hardware, software, and source code for government assessment. This policy is driven by concerns over potential Chinese spying, following reports of 1 million Chinese-made cameras in Indian government institutions. In Europe, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz has announced support for Ukraine's development of long-range missiles without Western-imposed restrictions. This marks a significant shift from previous policies and could alter the dynamics of the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. Meanwhile, in the United Kingdom, a tragic incident occurred during Liverpool Football Club's Premier League victory parade. A car plowed into the celebrating crowd, injuring 47 people, including 4 children. While the police are not treating the incident as terrorism-related, it has cast a shadow over what should have been a joyous occasion for the city. In technology news, the artificial intelligence boom is driving competition among U.S. states to attract data centers. States are offering financial incentives worth tens of millions of dollars to lure these facilities. However, this trend is facing pushback from state lawmakers and local communities, citing concerns over energy consumption and community impact. As we conclude our global news roundup, it's clear that we live in a world of complex challenges and rapid changes. From geopolitical tensions to technological advancements, the stories we've covered today highlight the interconnectedness of our global community and the need for thoughtful, informed engagement with the issues that shape our world. Thank you for tuning in to AI News Brew. We're grateful for your listenership and especially thankful to those who support our independent research and publications. Your engagement helps us continue to bring you objective, fact-based news from around the globe. Remember to follow AI News Brew for more in-depth analysis and breaking news. Until next time, stay informed and stay curious.